Would you look at that? I'm on time again. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Let's get started right away, shall we? Waste no time at all. Some stuff happened off stream. And by some stuff, I mean I got sick. For about a day and a half. I think it must have started like yesterday at some point, because for like the better part of the day, my stomach was giving me some trouble, and I had to be in and out of the bathroom and whatnot. Um, Actually, it was yesterday and the day before, for the better part of the day, yesterday, and then for like, I think after stream ended on Sunday, I started to feel it as well. Um, I assume it was just a kind of like stomach bug, or maybe something I ate. I don't know. Uh, in any case, I'm feeling much better now, thankfully, so I can actually stream today. Uh, and wouldn't you know it, there are politics to talk about still. Of course, it's mostly going to be stuff I didn't talk about last time. Such is the case for most of my streams. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, there is a lot. Most of it is American politics. But, you know, most of the significant things here are American politics. About half or more. Um, 2/3 maybe. That's just kind of the nature of me living in America, and also America being such a central country on like the world stage and whatnot. Uh, and of course, this is primarily a custom track online Mario Kart stream, but if you see me doing regular worldwides, that means either there's some issues with connectivity to the custom track servers going on, or in this case, there's nobody online. So I'm going to the regular tracks to satisfy everybody's desire for some good content where there's actually quite a few people in these races. I think 1v1s can be cool, but they don't usually make for great stream content. Looks like they just finished. Let me pull up this text document, have it kind of hovering over the screen. All right. I need to be able to like pull up news articles if need be. Okay. Shut down. 124 election. Let's start. You know what? Let's start with a correction to something I mentioned last time. So I mentioned that Israel is being sued by South Africa in the International Court of Justice for their genocide in the Gaza Strip, and the West Bank as well. And I mentioned that I had heard somewhere that the U.S. is also implicated in this, but then I couldn't really find where I heard it from on stream, so I was like, I guess not. I need to issue a correction. The U.S. is being implicated on the wiki article, which has sources. Here we have in the international responses section to the ongoing genocide case in the ICJ, South Africa's case has been opposed by the United States, which is itself being sued for complicity in genocide in domestic legal proceedings. Yeah. U.S. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said the U.S. found the submission meritless. Pretty standard stuff. So maybe it's not South Africa specifically, but the U.S. is also implicated in this ongoing genocide case, and is being sued for complicity in aiding Israel's efforts here. And I got owned by a bullet bill. I think that's good. And if I might, I want to touch upon the potential consequences of the ICJ ruling, as I believe it pertains to, like, you know, the future of Israel and whatever. So I do think it is more likely, it is far more likely than not, that the ICJ, for whatever it's worth, will rule in the direction of South Africa, that Israel has been committing a genocide in the Gaza Strip. You know, South Africa has a very strong case to this effect. But as I said last time, I don't think the ruling's actually going to do anything. Right? The ICJ is part of the UN. The UN is toothless and has no way of actually enforcing its decisions or rulings or anything of the sort. Right? This is one of the biggest problems with the international community. It is so full of competing interests that very frequently nothing can happen. Can't believe I avoided all that. Um, the real consequence, because that's not to say there won't be any real consequences from this proceeding, is going to come in the form of PR and reputation politics, right? Israel's reputation is going to be severely damaged by a ruling if one gets delivered against them, because they, in the eyes of liberals, are, like, oh, only democracy in the Middle East. They're, America's greatest ally, shining city on the hill, etc., etc. Um, but they might get caught with one of the largest crimes that we can even quantify, that being genocide here. And the potential consequence for that, ICJ rules against Israel. Yes, you are committing a genocide, actually. Is there anything the UN can directly do about it? No. But that is going to damage Israel's reputation enough for the West to stop supporting them. Because if Israel is officially found to be guilty of an ongoing genocide, then that means, by default, that anybody aiding them in the project that is now recognized as genocidal, they would be complicit in that genocide. So the United States, Germany, France, any other countries that are supplying aid to Israel would all of a sudden be would like have well, it'd be like they got caught with the cookie jar or something like that. And I know that's an incredibly mild and, like, it's an incredibly mild way of putting such a severe crime, but it could potentially scare off any foreign support for Israel and result in them basically being alone in the region, which obviously Israel, surrounded by hostile countries, would be militarily at odds with them, insofar as, more so than they are already, because they're not exactly shy about that. But they really do rely on the support of the West, and that would force them to reconsider their politics if they want to continue getting funding for things like the Iron Dome and other associated projects. Yeah. Ooh, Mega Mushroom. Yeah. Oh, shit. Everybody's getting hit. All right. Oh, no. They took my item box. Rip. I'm hitting all sorts of walls. Got him. Oof. I have to concentrate as fuck. Octopus097. Hi, welcome to chat. Good to have people here. Okay. All right. Sorry, this race is... Got him. Ah, jeez. I don't think there was any way I came out of that, especially clean. But I at least got rid of that thundercloud. I think that's good, on balance. Oh. Dang. Well, Bill. Sixth, I think? I don't know. I didn't drive super well on that track. I'm just getting bumped everywhere. That's the thing. Yeah, ouch. Oh, 7th. I thought I got 6th. Huh. I'll do one more, and then I'll try to look for a custom track room. Let me go to the next thing. I have to pull up news articles for most of these. Got unlucky, bro. Yeah, I assume there was a degree of luck involved there. I think a lot of what did me in is how close I was to the rest of the pack. And sort of the fact that a lot of people got like red shells, stars, and bullet bills when I was nearby. Yeah. Here, let me actually clear this thing off the TXT list. I have a TXT document of subjects that I want to talk about each time. Thank you for the follow, Octopus097. Because I tend to forget that there's a lot of things that I want to talk about each stream. Each stream is 2 hours long. I have a hard time remembering everything, so I write them down. And a lot of what I talk about is politics. Go to I had a Newsweek article I had to pull up really quick. I guess I can start with something that I've talked about a little bit before. There's been a couple of videos where I talk about it, but it's also just a subject of recurring interest to me because well, there's only two parties in American politics, two relevant ones, that is. There's obviously more on the fringes and whatnot. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, it's just the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And right now, the Republican Party has been experiencing a lot of money problems. For me, that's a good thing because I really don't like the Republican Party. I think they have very abhorrent policy goals, most of which center around hating queer people and whatnot, which I am. So, you know, it's not great. Sorry, had to take a breather there. But particularly the state level Republican parties have been not just having money problems, but like going broke. I think I talked about a little while ago. I talked about like the Michigan Republican Party. But there's also other states where this is happening. Michigan is no longer the only one, and in fact, it's the problem is now compounding on itself. It's expanding. More and more Republican parties are facing this issue. Give me this. Yeah. I'm a German, so I didn't understand anything, but I try. That's okay. Look, the Republican Party in America is the right-wing party. And there's the federal version of the party, and then there's the regional parties. So like you have the AFD, and like the CDU, and they have party power. Like there's the federal AFD, and then there's like the regional Bavarian AFD, and like in different states have their own AFD and their own CDU and those parties. Same thing in the United States with the Republican Party. It's kind of like our AFD. Um, the thing is, they are very bad with money, which is very funny to me. Um, Here I have a Newsweek article. Multiple state Republican parties are going broke. Uh, and when I say broke, I mean like properly bankrupt. Several state Republican parties are reportedly going bankrupt and struggling to raise funds while being weakened by infighting in a year where some of these states could be crucial for the election of America's next president. In Arizona and Michigan, two states where the GOP presidential candidate uh, will have to win suburban voters, state Republican parties are running very short on money. In Arizona, the state GOP has just $14,000 left in the bank. Uh, that's for the whole state. Their party has that little money. I guess I have to go back to regular worldwides. In Michigan, the state Republican Party had $93,000. Now let's see. In a recent report, a GOP official said in only a matter of a few months, the party is essentially non-functional, and worse, the party and others associated with the party are now facing potential civil and criminal consequences for breaking laws. So they're not just low on money; they've also broken some financial laws. So they're in trouble with investigators here. The Republican Party in the state of Minnesota is also struggling financially, with a filing showing that it recently only had $53.81 in the bank. Not $53,000, $53, and was more than $300,000 in debt. Holy. A report from Politico revealed that the Colorado Republicans were also struggling and facing eviction from its office because it couldn't pay rent. Holy shit. I didn't think it was this bad. I thought it was like, well, not as bad as this. Party denied the story and accused Hudson of spreading lies. Yeah, okay. In the state of Massachusetts, the Republican Party has more than $400,000 in debts and less than $70,000 in the bank. And most recently, Florida joins this list. The Florida state Republicans now are essentially broke, according to a journalist investigating this. The chairman of the party raised no big money for the party, according to another journalist. From internet. Hope it gets a little bit better soon. I'm sorry to hear your internet's bad. That sucks. I also hope your internet gets better. It always sucks to have sucky internet. Is there any more of this? So, okay, here we go. Look, here's a little bit of analysis from this article. Why are state Republican parties in such bad financial shape, despite the party having more state governors and more state legislators? These challenges are due in part to years of losses against the Democratic Party, and in part because former donors have dropped the party over its embrace of debunked claims like Donald Trump still saying that the 2020 election was rigged and stolen. So the Republican Party doing election denial is making them bleed money. In fact, a lot of them are going broke specifically because of election denial. I remember reading another news story about the Michigan Republicans. The leader of that state party was an election denier, and she was responsible for a lot of electoral losses. So the party decided, nah, get out of here, and they ousted her. Like, they voted her out. And then she said that the results of that election were fake, and that she's still the party chair. I'm not kidding. They said, you're an election denier, so we're voting you out. And she said, nuh-uh, your election is fake. Dude, I couldn't write this shit any better if I was like a professional comedian. I swear. What's on the line now, rather than the future of these state parties, is whether they will have the necessary money for the 2024 election cycle. Yeah, that's right. This is an election year, and a lot of money gets spent in election years, like all over the place. And I think this is probably the first year that we're going to see the real consequences of the Republicans not having money. In 2022, like a couple of years ago, these issues just started to like be a thing. They started to be reported on. But in 2023, most states don't have elections. So it was like there was kind of a calm before the storm, and now the storm is kind of approaching. Think your internet is fine? Okay, that's good. So now the Republicans aren't just out of money; they're out of money, and they're up for an election. And you know, they have to spend money on an election in order to do campaign stuff, in order to put out campaign ads. Be like, hey, you should vote for us for these reasons. Sorry, Funky Kong. Ow. Dude, people are bloodthirsty in this room. Holy shit. You can play that game. Cool. Do you play one of Troy's knockouts? No, I don't, I'm pretty disconnected from the rest of the Mario Kart Wii community. I watch Troy's videos sometimes, not as much as I used to. I don't usually watch all the knockout stuff, but he's cool. In fact, he was the first channel I subscribed to on YouTube. I think you're pretty good. Well, thank you. I've played this game since 2010, I think. That's how long I've had the game. Yeah. I try not to care about VR too much. I care more about how well I'm driving on any given race. Yo, what's up, 1v3? And I feel like my performance, like my driving ability so far is like, it's not really bad, but it's not great. So I'll try to race better this next race. Okay. He's broken? I'm sorry to hear that. Sucks. Okay, so far so good. I'm racing alright. One of my worst habits is wheeling when there are other people around me. Road rage is not a thing that works in this game, really. Especially when I'm on Mach Bike, I just get pushed around all the time. I do have some final thoughts on the article about Republicans in all those states like not having any more money, and then I think I can move on to another subject. When I said that the Republican Party is done, I've said this on a number of occasions. Like, I don't think the Republican Party has very much longer in American politics. You know, we might be in the midst of a part of American history where it's like, oh, the one of the existing parties stops being as popular, and then you see a new party become more popular, and then like you still have two parties, but now one of the parties is different from the one before, you know? Part of what makes me say that is the lack of money. Like, the Republicans, like, don't have a lot of money. At the federal level, they don't have that much. But then, you know, when they're going bankrupt at the state level as well, they're running out of money pretty severely. And the Republicans also don't have a policy platform, really. You know, they have the same old stuff that they've always had. Like, Republicans always talk about cutting taxes and austerity politics, and you know, saying stuff like, oh, the US is going to go broke because of Social Security and Medicare, which is why we should get rid of those social programs. But that stuff isn't popular. So they've been relying on culture war stuff a lot, but that isn't popular either. They just have nothing going for them. Like, nobody likes anything the Republican Party really has to say. You know, they've been talking a lot about trans people, and, you know, people really aren't buying that. They've been talking a lot about Hunter Biden, who's the son of Joe Biden, and nobody really cares about that. Hope my English is right. I can't speak it very well. Your English is great. And they don't have the resources to push the message that they don't have. So they're kind of like, they're running on fumes. Played with my brother, but maybe was more into the game than we were, so we gave up on it. Just fool around with other games now. His programming big brain made some cursed system that flips Mario Kart Wii on its head if it isn't broken yet. That's kind of wild. Mario Kart Wii mods have gotten way more out there since I started playing the game. You know, back in the day, one of the most impressive custom tracks you could come across was Volcanic Skyway 3. You know, that giant-ass track with cannons everywhere. I don't know if either of you guys remember that one. But yeah, shoutouts to Republican Party sucking, El Bozo, and, you know, hopefully we can move on from a world where there are far-right parties and decide that, like, you know what, queer people are fine, actually. Let's talk about better things, like, I don't know, social welfare. You know, that'd be good if politics could move on to that. Yeah, I think all three of the people who are like are actually Octopus. I think you 1v3 and then Opium again are all ESL, which means English as a second language. So you're in good company as far as that goes. I have to eat soon? Yeah, no trouble. No trouble. Look, you know, I'm not one of these authoritarian Big Brother streamers who will like hound people to keep watching or whatever. You know, do what you got to do. I'm always gonna be here, more or less. You know, I always stream at like the same time every other day. And these are all gonna go up on YouTube anyway in a playlist of unlisted videos. So if you want to find it, you can. I don't think I can do that shortcut on 100cc Shroomless. You can do it on 150. Oh, that guy got owned by the chain chomp. Ow. Back in like half an hour. Yeah, again, don't sweat it. One mushroom. Okay. Better than nothing. Ooh, I'll take that. Hehe. Yay. First place on that track of all things, huh? I think I raced really well that track. My decision making was really good for basically the whole race. Let's see if I can't find a custom track room, even if it's only like 4 or 5 people. That'd be fine. Anyways, I'd been doing a pattern yesterday. If I talk about a big thing, then I talk about a small thing, and then big thing, small thing. I just talked about what I would perceive to be a big thing. That's, like the Republican Party, one of the major parties, actively dying and being on its last legs in the United States. So let's do a small thing, which would be one of the things that 1v3 suggested in the content suggestion box in my Discord channel. This is the one about South Korea. That guy is in Antarctica. That's kind of wild. So, Reuters article. South Korea passes bill to ban consumption of dog meat. I didn't know that this was a political issue in South Korea, but apparently it is. It's a pretty short article, so. So this is about a week old. In Seoul, January 9th, South Korea's parliament passed a bill to ban the eating and selling of dog meat, a move that will end the controversial centuries-old practice amid growing support for animal welfare. Eating dog meat was once seen as a way to improve stamina in the humid Korean summer, but the practice has become rare, largely limited to some older people and specific restaurants, as more Koreans consider dogs as family pets, and as criticism of how the dogs are slaughtered has grown. Let's see. Obviously, there's a whole lot of unethical shit in how dogs are like killed in the style of like farm animals and whatever. Let's see. This is in the wake of like increasing pet ownership and more sympathy to animals that are widely considered as pets rather than sources of food. And I think ultimately one of the biggest drivers of this is that they no longer need to have dog meat as part of their diet, and it's feasible for them to phase it out, so they will. Of course, that's not to say there won't be problems on the road with this. There's let's see, as of April not last year, year before, there were some 1,100 farms breeding dogs, and there were 1,600 restaurants that were serving dog meat, that's a significant impact economically, but I think this is the right decision either way, because, this is obviously an ethical consideration more than anything. Slaughtering dogs to eat them, that's usually bad. That's pretty bad. Don't do that. So, that'll be nice. Just a run-of-the-mill advancement of animal rights in South Korea. Yeah. And there was actually something else that I wanted to talk about, because this brought to mind animal farming and meat more generally, the meat industry and whatnot. Now, I'm not a vegan in terms of, like, practicing and whatever. I eat meat, I eat animal products and whatever, because it would be borderline infeasible for me to do otherwise. And also, like, me just not consuming those isn't gonna solve anything. It's just gonna make my life more difficult and like, I don't know, make me more virtuous in the eyes of Twitter liberals and leftists, and I don't really care about that. Um, but there is something that I do agree with vegans on, which is that animal exploitation for the purpose of consumption is pretty unethical. You know, when you get right down to it, the animals that we farm and kill and whatever, you know, cows, chickens, pigs, you know, all that stuff, they are intelligent. They're intelligent animals. And you know, obviously so are dogs. And ultimately, I think eventually we shouldn't do that. But that takes a lot of work. Like with this one, with this story, even something as already on the fringes as like the consumption and production of dog meat, is affecting like over 1,000 farms and restaurants in the country, which is, you know, that's a big splash. So you'd have to approach the issue pretty carefully as well when it comes to I don't know, farming cows or pigs or sheep, you know, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that like, you know, this is consistent with a vegan set of ethics, and while I am not a vegan, I eat meat and stuff. I do agree with vegans that it is unethical for animals to be raised for the purpose of slaughter and whatever. Even though there's like you know, there's an argument to be made about the food chain and whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for us to kill animals for the purpose of eating them. That's why I support stuff like, you know, lab-grown meat if it's possible, or like plant-based alternatives that are so convincing that you like can't tell the difference, whatever it ends up being. Uh, yeah, you know, I think the reason I touch upon that is mostly that like a lot of people get sort of apprehensive when they hear about discussions of veganism and vegan ethics, and think that like, oh, in order to like ethically agree with vegans, you also have to be a vegan. But that's not really true. You know, you can agree that like there are things in society that we all participate in that are unethical and that are bad on a large scale, but that no one person is at fault for those things, and that like, you know, it would take a much larger systemic effort to change that. And uh, animal farming and the slaughter of animals, the consumption of animal meat and whatever, that's one of those things that like, you know, it's just one of those eventually kind of things. And the instance in Korea of them banning dog meat is a much more upfront example where, you know, that those arguments come to the forefront, because in that case it's an animal that we have a much more direct line of sympathy with. You know, fundamentally there's not that much difference between a dog and a cow or a pig or you know, any other animal like that, but we treat them differently for a number of reasons, mostly of our own social construction. All that to say, banning the consumption of dog meat is good, actually, I think. And hopefully eventually we won't need to consume any animal meat. Eventually. Quite the goofy looking map. Yeah, that's a pretty goofy, that was a pretty goofy track. That's also a track that I've historically struggled with because of those trowels sort of bouncing around like this. You know, uh, I always kind of have trouble telling where those trowels are going to be, but that race I think I did pretty well. I drove pretty well. You know, I don't think I actually ever got hit by one of those moving trowels, so that's good. All right, Banished Keep. Here's a real test. Oh, where are they going? No, what? How do you do that? How do you do that part? Ugh! I hate comp players so much. By the way, this is one of those tracks that I was thinking of when I was critiquing the whole, yeah, difficult shroomless shortcut literally wins you the race if you do it, and loses you the race if you don't. Because there's like a couple of shortcuts like that on this track. Oh wait, can you do that shroomless if you go off the... That's interesting. Okay, that didn't gain me all that much ground, but, you know, whatever, right? Remember we started playing this game online on this track? Oh yeah, that's right! Oh, that guy dodged the shock. Dang. Right at the end of his Mega Mushroom, too. And where does that leave me, huh? In fourth with no item. Not an amazing place to be, but... Okay, here's 9 bucks. Alright, 1 red shell. I'll take it. I was actually literally just about to say, do not give me a Thundercloud. I don't know why I'm going this way. Ow! What? That was a fake item? There was a fake item there? That's wild. Please make me big. Yes. Don't have a fake item or anything. Please. Thank you. Okay, 3 for 3. We're good, we're good. Me item. Yes. Alright. Barely. Alright, here we go. Here goes nothing. Please don't shock again? It'd be kind of crazy if there was a shock at this point. How am I in first? Hello? Alright. I'll take it, I guess. I'm saving this mushroom. I did the thing. Okay. Oh my god. That track is stressful. I drove really well, though. Aside from that one bit at the beginning. The one bit where all those guys took that giant ramp to, like, skip the turn. That's where I messed up. But the rest of the track I drove pretty much as well as I could have. Whew. Alright. Talked about another one of the smaller things on my radar, so now let's go to a big thing. Well, big for me anyways. Like I said, American bias and whatnot. I'm American, so... And speaking of America, here is the result of the first Republican primary. So the Republicans were still in the like preliminary stages of deciding who their presidential candidate was going to be. And it wasn't really all that much of a question. Everybody knows that Trump is like the uncontested figurehead of the Republican Party, and this confirms it. The primary election, or in this case, the caucus, happened in Iowa, and Trump won like easily, like so easily. Former President Donald Trump scored a record-setting win in the Iowa caucuses on Monday, with his rivals languishing far behind. Very apt language from the Associated Press here. A victory that affirmed his grip on the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. I believe the vote tally was something like 51% of the votes went to Trump, and then the remaining 48 point something were split between all of his competitors. I'm not as familiar with this track on mirror mode as I am just regular old 150. Whoa, okay. You take first. You go ahead. Not you. Okay, maybe you too. Oh shit! Maybe not. Holy... Okay. Before I get back to the article, there is something I wanted to mention about the nature of primaries such as these. So, there's nothing legally requiring that political parties have these internal elections because they're just that, internal. And parties are not government organizations, they're private. So they get to have their own rules and bylaws, as they're called. But the notable thing that I want to mention here is that a lot of news outlets will kind of make a fuss over who came in second and third. None of that actually matters. Because a lot of states do this winner-take-all thing. It doesn't matter who doesn't win the election. It does matter who does win the election. If that makes sense. And... like... You never hear about the people that lose the election after the election, really. Unless they decide to run in a later election, like at another time. Is this shortcut still here? Is it like a thing I can do? Not really. Holy, narrowly avoided that red shell. Nice. That shock might have won me that little bit of the race there. I didn't drive super well, but that's probably because mirror mode. Yeah. Not a huge fan of mirror mode for custom tracks, because it doubles the amount of custom tracks, which is already above 200. Anywho. Those who ventured out to the caucus delivered a roughly 30 percentage point win for Trump. That smashed the record up for a contested Iowa Republican caucus with a margin of victory exceeding Bob Dole's nearly 13 percentage point victory in 1988. So it doesn't really... That doesn't mean a whole lot, but, you know. Me when I use Star or Bullet while shocked till I die. Oh my god, shock dodge. Woo. Yeah, very true, very true. You love getting a shock dodge with a Star or Bullet. You're back? Welcome back. Welcome back. Is there anything else of note from the story about the Republican primary? It's them just sort of waffling about the other candidates that were present. Nobody really cares. I guess if I have to touch on them specifically, the Republican Party was hyping up Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, who were definitely more amicable to like the conventional party apparatus and whatever. But it was pretty. Their showing in Iowa was pretty pathetic, and Trump still has just as much of a hold over the Republican Party as he ever has. Nothing new there, really. Is this Luigi Circuit? I just now recognize this, I think. What if I go this way? Item. Sick. Red shell? If I do. Ow. Oh, that's... Oh, okay. That's a thing I can slip on. Alright. I gotta drive this very consciously here, because I've never driven this track before. Yeah, item. Ow. I'll go wide again. I need an item more than anything. Oh, cool. Yeah. Whoa! Barely made it back to the road. Please don't hit me. Thank you. I see. Cool. That's gonna hit him. Oh. Yit. I think I actually prefer the fact that I'm back here. Even though I got the best item in the game. The blooper. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. First place? Kind of wild. Oh my god. Got him. Am I gonna win? I won this track my first time playing. That was some exceptionally good driving on my part. The lines weren't amazing, but I think the core of my decision making was very strong there. Deciding like what shortcuts to do and when to try to be in the front versus when to just not. I think the fact that I didn't panic and just focused on getting my bearings did me a lot of favors in like how well I drove. Okay. That's good. That's good. Let's eliminate that from the list. There we go. Whew. Very tense. I need to stretch after the stream is done. Some cool track picks here. Mostly ones that I know, fortunately. Alright, Baby Park. Let's go, I guess. And then after this, I can talk about the next news thing, which is quote-unquote small. It's actually pretty big, but it's just not something you would see very much in the news cycle. So I think that means it's like a little bit more out of the way. All right, here comes the part where I try to front run Baby Park. This is not going to work. However, if it did work, it would be very funny. Big item makes sense. Is this gonna work? What the fuck? If this works, I'm a genius. Dude, everything is going to hell behind me. And I'm driving really well. I just front ran Baby Park and encountered exactly 0 difficulties. except for that POW. What is it with me front running really stupid tracks? I front ran Mario Circuit 1 last stream. Yeah, wow indeed, KV Bullet. By the way, welcome to chat. Glad to have you. Yeah, I did not think that was going to work. I sincerely thought that I would just get blown up at some point. But no, I guess not. Or Trump something in Idaho, don't remember what it was. Can I join? Yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, I'm just doing CT Worldwides. So after this race, I guess if you want my friend code, I could you can have it. Was that 1v3? Heard Trump won something in Idaho. Don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the Iowa primary election. The Republican primaries, or actually the primary elections in general for the presidential election are starting up. And Trump won, like, with no difficulty. He won the Iowa Republican primary election against, I think, 3 other candidates. Yeah. So the Republican Party is still very much the Trump Party, insofar as, like, he has pretty uncontested control over the party. Okay, front running is not going to work this time, because I have already been squished. Need to move my mouse. New to this game, lol. That's fine. Give me an item, please. Bullet bill. I think I'm going to use this on lap 2 somewhere. No, I was literally about to press the button. Haven't even played 100 races yet. Really? Well, then here's to having fun with Mario Kart. And if you want some advice on how to, how to survive the Mario Kart Wii online wilderness, don't pay attention to the VR. It's all about, like, are you driving better than you were last time? Or are you driving, better than your former self or whatever? That's a much better metric for improvement. Although it is one that you have to pay a little bit more attention to. It's a little bit more difficult to keep track of. I've ran into 9,000 players that don't know the track and can't drive for shit, and I've run into 5,000 VR players that are absolute gods of the game and just have incredible snap decision making. Took me a long time to find out how to get the mod. Yeah, modding Mario Kart can be a bit of a trick. Time trialed this King Boo track so much. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the Boo Lake maybe or something? Oh, dang it! I promised I would give you my friend code after that race, and I just instinctively pressed next race. I'll have to press quit game, and then we can link up and whatnot. You can join the room. You haven't played custom tracks yet? Well, you're in for a wild ride, because there are more than 200 tracks in the custom track distribution in CTGP. Oh, the normal one. Ghost Valley 2. That track is fun. The short tracks in Mario Kart Wii provide a unique brand of, like, time trial fun. Yeah, 200 plus. I think if we're being precise, in the set of cups that you can just select from the menu, there are 256 tracks. That's, like, the maximum that the game will allow without, like, glitching. And some of them, like this one, are very difficult to get a hold of. And I have some critiques of some of these tracks as well. Not that one. Yeah, I mean, online races can races against other people can make tracks like that a bit of a drag, but what I was going to say about like the time trials is that the shorter tracks provided a nice, more bite-sized challenge that you don't need a whole lot of stamina to be able to do. 1.5 seconds behind the world record. That's pretty impressive. Ow! I'm getting owned. Still driving pretty good though. Okay. Should have gone for the far wide box. As a consequence, I am now in 8th with no item. It's a good decision for me to not go for that boost panel. This might not be a great decision because I'm missing out on an item. Yeah, in retrospect, I probably should have gone for the item box. Okay. Some tracks have these insane shortcuts. Oh yeah, I can't do half the shortcuts that were in that are in the regular Mario Kart Wii tracks. I used to be able to do a lot of the shortcuts, but they've gotten more insane since I last did any time trials, like seriously. I think I know where I want to use this star. The question is the shot going to happen before then? And the answer for me, hopefully, is no, but it's very possible that it could. It's been 30 seconds. First time I got beaten is Mario Kart. It's so hard. Just use it here. I'm defeating all my family members. Had to hit against so far. Yeah, sometimes you get sometimes the thing about Mario Kart is that you lose through no fault of your own, and you've gotta be able to take that as it comes and say like, look, that's not indicative of my skill. Just went through all. Yeah, that's one of the things that makes custom tracks really hard, is that for some of them there are hidden shortcuts. That wall is an illusion. As you get closer, as you come right up on it, then it disappears, and you see that there's a road behind it, and you have to learn that that's there over several sessions of playing the game, playing the track, and all that. Definitely one of the harder to grasp elements of custom tracks. Hidden shortcuts that are not immediately obvious, and that are so significant that they will win or lose the race for you. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. Yep, good. Just go, dude. All right. This time, I'm going to go for an item box. Red shells. Well, that netted me one spot at the very least. Okay. Regular ones I almost complete. This one box clip at Toad's Factory I never got. That's one of the shortcuts that I would never be able to do in a million years. Just never stop talking about that. That man is my half-brother. Every day in the supermarket, and we see something shell-related, he starts smiling like the little devil he is. It's like the opposite of PTSD. Forgot again. I did! Oh my god, you're so right. Alright. Chat, I'm asking you, remind me towards the end of this race to quit out of the room. In the meantime, I believe there is a friend code command that I recently added to Nightbot. Let me check Nightbot TV. Custom. Yeah, there we go. Clear evidence he doesn't care about his fans. Oh! The fucking emoji disappearing guy. Yeah, you got me. This is true. Alright, Luigi Circuit. Luigi Raceway, excuse me. I am a fraud for not knowing the name of the track. Oh. Okay, so far not amazing by any stretch, but, you know. Not terrible. I don't know. Luigi. I am a monster. I have killed Luigi on his own track. Nobody can believe this. Yo, what's up? That was mean, but you know, it's Mario Kart. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm assuming doing this is faster. It does definitely get you some items. Are you put in the friend code? There, I will go back to the Mario Kart Wii menu once this race is done. Of course, I will need your help to remind me of that, but there's a screen where you can input friend code. You can have first. I don't want it. Yeah, go ahead. He's not taking first. Is it in the register of friend? Yes, it is. That is where you put in the friend code. Maybe my brother has some footage from that game-breaking mod. That'd be an interesting sight to see. For sure. Imagine if I win. What if? Okay, I'm not gonna win, but... Third? Okay. I gotta quit. I gotta quit out of this game. Got your new code. Okay, cool. Quit game. Yes. Okay, quit. There we go. Friends. Register a friend. Is that the real Edwin at second? I have no idea. Maybe it was? I don't know. It's entirely possible. I've played against pro players before, and they are absolute assholes. So, you know, who knows? Yeah. Here we go. Nice. Let's go back to custom track worldwides. And there's a certain way that you have to join. I'm gonna join a room, and then if who do you mean? Like which pro players are assholes? No, I just mean they drive like assholes. And that applies to players in general. They're very cutthroat. Yeah. I don't think there are any specific names that I would recognize as like, oh, I know exactly who that is. But there are people who were like members of clans and stuff. And I think I was in a room with Luke one time. Yeah, one time. Same room, I think. Yeah, okay. So when the selecting track menu comes up, that's when you join. Or actually no, it'd be in this phase, I think. Oh wait, there might not be enough room to well, it depends on how many players are in this room, but right now, like as we're spectating people in the race, this is when you should be able to join. You joined? All right, cool. Oh yeah, that's right, because there are 10 people in this race, and then I would make 11, and then you would be 12. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go, the baby. Actually, now I have a little bit of space, because those are just now going into lap 3. I have a little bit of space to talk about the other thing. The thing that 1v3 linked just before stream started. We all like renewable energy in this chat. Renewable energy is based and very cool. And apparently the Polish Liberal Party agrees, more or less. Let's see, Reuters news article. Headline says, Poland plans to set end date for coal power. This is based on an interview or some like reporting from Brussels, which is in Belgium, but that's where the EU is like convenes, so that's where this is all happening. Poland plans to set an end date for coal-fueled power, the country's Secretary of State said on Monday, making a shift from the previous government's stance on climate change. Yeah, so this comes off the heels of the far-right PIS party. I am not joking. Their party was the PIS party. How do people have stars? If you beat every cup in Grand Prix mode with a 1-star rating or better, that gives you 1 star. You go somewhere else, but it's free fun. All right, well, have a good one, and see you when I see you if you decide to come back ever. What was I saying? Oh yes, the PIS party in Poland, the PIS party, did not think climate change was real. At least that was their official opinion. And they were like, coal power is great. We should do more of it, which is dumb, and I don't like that. But then they lost the election to the Liberal Party, who's now the biggest party in government, and they have like the governing coalition. And they care more about climate change. They are at least willing to acknowledge, yeah, this exists, and it's pretty bad. We should probably not do as much coal power. And of course, Poland had been like under some pressure from the EU as well, because there are a lot of other European countries that have decided, yeah, we want to not do coal power anymore. But ultimately, this is good either way, I think. Never played any of these. Well, I guess a small silver lining is that a retro track was picked. So this is a Nintendo track from another game. Yeah. And Poland is now, like... Yeah, on GBA. Same track. And now since the Liberal Party is in power in Poland, they are talking with the EU on like, okay, so now how do we stop eventually using it said game disc cannot be read? No, that's so unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. It's a Bible thump moment. There's always the toothpaste trick. I was on for 20 minutes and just now saying that. I can kind of act as emergency tech support if needed, but I don't know how well that's going to go. If this is a persistent problem, then you might need to do the toothpaste thing with your disc. But if it's just the one time, then it's probably just like a one-off event. Because I've had that happen before, but it wasn't like a really common thing. Whoa! If Clorox, if that helps. Don't use Clorox. I'll describe it to you after. Oh, wow, I hit both of those. What am I talking about? I was talking about spray thing. No, you should use toothpaste. The method I have method I know is toothpaste, and that's the only one that I know works. Although if you want to look up a YouTube tutorial, how much toothpaste? It's not that much. Whoa, what happened to them? Windex. You know what? Let me look it up. Does Windex work? No, do not use. Okay, here from Nintendo support. Okay. Don't use solvents, so definitely no Windex. So what you need to do is take a little bit of toothpaste and just smear it around the disc. You know, so the whole play side of the disc is covered in toothpaste. Just a very thin layer. You don't need to like put it on super thick. You should only use as much as it would take to like brush your teeth. And then once you've done that, take a paper towel, wet it in cold water, and wipe down the disc. And then once all the toothpaste has been wiped off the disc with the cool water, then take a dry paper towel and very, very carefully dry the disc off. Don't wipe it super hard or anything. Just very carefully. And that's how you clean a Mario Kart Wii disc. That's actually how I fixed my Mario Kart Wii disc. Something like 15, not 15, it was like 5 or 6 years ago. You put toothpaste. Okay, cool. You know, now you need a paper towel and you need some water, some cool water, not like hot water or anything. How to smear it? Yeah, for free. So just use your finger to smear it, or if you have a tissue or a paper towel, that will work too. Use item. Right. Driving pretty well so far. There was a couple big mistakes at the beginning, I think. But so far, so good. Dude, the Mach Bike gained so much ground on that section. Oh my god. How many Mario games do you have? I have quite a few. I have let's see. I have the there's a game cart for Super Nintendo that includes a lot of old Mario games. So I have Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario World. Um and then I have Mario 64 on emulator. I play that one. And I had Mario Sunshine for a little while on Dolphin, but I never really got around to playing it. I have, I think, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I have some of the like Wii U games as well. I have Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Um, and I have Mario Maker 1 and 2. So it's a good amount. I also have Mario 3D Land for the 3DS. And New Super Mario Bros. DS and New Super Mario Bros. 2 DS and Mario 64 DS. I was a really big Mario games fan growing up. as well as Pokemon. Those are the two Nintendo franchises that I think I played the most. I hit the wall. Dank? Yeah. I also have quite a few Mario Party games. Didn't work. So, okay. You just, like, after you smear the toothpaste on it, you need to wet a paper towel and wipe it off, right? You need to wipe the toothpaste off after you've smeared it on the disc. And again, you have to apply a very light hand when you're doing these things. You know, gotta be careful. Let me finish eating real quick. Yeah, no problem. I have Super Mario, Luigi, Wii, and U, and Mario Kart Wii, and U, plus Deluxe. Oh, yeah. And also, if we're counting Mario Kart games, I own every Mario Kart game. Except for Mario Kart Tour, because I'm not playing Mario Kart on a cell phone. Oh, yeah. I also have Super Mario RPG on Virtual Console. And I have Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story and Partners in Time, and I think Dream Team. I have a few of the Mario and Luigi games, and they are very fun. But I've never played Paper Mario. I even have the Double Dash Rare version. Rare version? I didn't know there was more than one version. Luigi L on his hat is backwards? Oh, okay. Here, you know what? I can actually, KV Bullet, since you are having some trouble, I can link the Nintendo support page, in chat. Ow. Oh. Now they say it for Mario Kart and for Super Mario. I have to spin the wheel, with a whole bunch of challenges. Reason I got back to playing more Super Mario U. That sounds fun. Challenge modes in platforming games can be fun. I have to concentrate so hard on the road here. Okay. Oof. Finish eating? Okay. 65 entries on that thing for Super Luigi U. Oh, wow. Sounds like you're kind of a gamer. I'm gonna stay in second. I'm making the tactical / strategic decision that I want to be in second here. I would rather that than be in first. Once this race is done, I will link the Nintendo support page. There's one note that says you shouldn't use paper towels, but that's why I suggested that you use a wet paper towel. Because the problem with the paper towel is that the fabric is a bit abrasive, but if it's wet, it takes the edge off. So... although I guess if you have a microfiber cloth, you could use that. But then you would be using the not toothpaste method, which I'm not as familiar with. No rag? Um, it depends on how soft or coarse the rag is. You want it to be very soft. I used paper towels because they're disposable. A wet rag might not be as good of an idea. Because like with paper towels, it's made of this papery material, so the water will actually take the edge off. But with like kitchen rags and stuff, that's not always the case. Ow. Ow. Damn it. Alright, I'm following these guys. This might have been a mistake. Okay, never mind. It worked out. Still a mistake, I think. So, maybe there's no never mind. No, that was definitely not a good decision. Okay, cool. Here is the link to the Nintendo support page. I didn't know that it was a thing that you're not supposed to clear in a like circular motion, but that apparently is a thing. Ah, okay, there we go. The Nintendo guide also says after all the water is gone, after you've dried it off, presumably with the like very ginger touch of a paper towel or with a cotton cloth or whatever, you're supposed to let the disc sit for a few minutes before you put it back into the Wii console, because the Wii console has a disc reader, right? And that could potentially, like, if things don't set, it could potentially like not read the disc right or something like that. Right now, I'm trying to beat all of Grand Prix and Mario Kart Wii with that with the wheel. For example, I could get the challenge of not getting to hit other players, and in case I do, I have to get back all the way to 12th place. That sounds like a downright Herculean challenge. I'd be surprised if anybody's able to do that. Um, that's why it's fun, I guess. Yeah. You know, the thing about this game, you know, me streaming it every other day, this is like you're seeing the extent to which I play this game, you know? I don't play it very much in my in the like time I'm off stream, because it's like I play this game on stream and I don't want to get super tired of it. And I also feel like it's more fun because that means that like whenever I play it on stream, I'll usually have things to say either about the tracks or about the game in general, things like that. A real content gamer? You bet I am. Matt's out for blood right now. I'm watching that banana like a hawk. God damn it, not close enough apparently. What in the world? Those things are wacky. Getting my favorite English sentences. I'll let it sit for a while. Yeah. How am I this far in first? Hello? Kind of easy. Ooh, wacky, dude. I'm feeling you butchered it? That's okay. Look, if you butchered it, the thing that wiping down your disc with toothpaste is supposed to fix is scratches. And if you butchered it, that means you added more scratches to the disc, which means you can try again. But at the same time, you probably did it fine. It's not that delicate of a process. And in fact, that's the feeling I got when I did it the first time, and it worked. So sometimes such feelings can be unfounded. In fact, I would argue more often than not. So definitely less scratches. That means it worked, at least in some capacity. But yeah, then once it's been a couple minutes, you can put it back into the Nintendo Wii. It might be a good idea to let the game run for a little bit, to play a couple races offline, just to make sure that the disc is running smoothly, and then hop online later. Just for, like, purposes of making sure that, like, the disc is not working, per se, but, like, used to the Wii reading it again, right? Because sometimes you can get some hiccups. Somebody's gonna hit that. Oh, he got a mega. Okay. An error occurred this time? Might be a good idea to try a couple more times, and then if you keep getting errors, you know, just like do the thing again. Just follow the guide a bit more, like, carefully and deliberately and whatnot. It is going to work. Got him. Silly Matt. My dad, when the disc won't work, let me just wipe here and there with my sleeve. Yeah, that's something that we used to do with movie discs a lot, back when movies were mostly DVDs. I really wanted to play custom tracks. You still can. Look, fixing the disc sometimes is, like, annoying. You know, you might have to try a couple of times. But it does work with like, toothpaste and cold water. Or if you just want to do the Nintendo method of just, like, water and a rag. You know? Whoa, what the fuck? I just completely blanked out for a second. Okay, well, I think we all know what prevented me from getting a better spot that race. Try to play a race without going to homebrew channel. Yes, okay, that's the key thing. Just launch vanilla Mario Kart Wii from the Mario Kart Wii window. You don't want to do any unnecessary, like, extra steps first, you want to confirm that the Wii is actually reading the disc. Unable to read disc. If there are still some scratches on it, you might need to do the thing again. Just wipe it down with some cold water, and again, let it sit. And then when it doesn't have any visible like scratches on it, or at least when there's not very many scratches, then put it back in. Can't even boot it up anymore. I mean, I've already said, try wiping it down again. Let it sit for a few minutes. And again, either wet paper towel or wet cotton cloth. It's got to be. Day before yesterday was the 690th day of the Russian-Ukrainian war. Nice, except not, because it's a war. That's pretty not nice, despite the 69. I can't believe I got out ahead of that. Nice try, but I have a banana. Dude, it really is a massive failure of U.S. policymaking and U.S. foreign policy that we decided to support Israel over Ukraine. Like, we had the option of like, or rather, there was like, Congress said, okay, so we can either continue to support Ukraine or we can support Israel. And those are like our only options here. And they went with Israel, which is fucking dumb. Alright, bro. Israel isn't even all that democratic. Ukraine is actually more democratic than Israel is. Israel has been like... Benjamin Netanyahu's party in Israel has been gutting the court system and like trying to make it so that their party has more and more power, and making it so that they like have fewer and fewer checks on them and stuff. And then meanwhile, Ukraine is like in the midst of a defensive war, but still is like making plans to have elections once the war is done. Rough take, but with Ukraine, we defeat a big, crazy world player, and we save the bread economics. Oh, yeah, for sure. It, like, whatever happens, I believe that in order for like, good outcomes to be ensured, Ukraine has to win this war. Like, nothing good comes from this war stagnating or Ukraine losing. We get Ukraine and NATO, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so the reason we need to support Ukraine is because there are tens of millions of people's lives on the line. In this war. And it's not just in the sense of like if Russia occupies them there will be a lot of death, because that's absolutely true. But like you said, if Ukraine wins the war, if the war comes to a resolution, then the economics of the region will start to stabilize, at least somewhat. Ukraine would get a lot of economic boost from the West, and they would join the EU, because the EU's been in talks to let Ukraine join. They would no longer have any disputed territory, so they'd be able to join NATO, and that would be one more nation that is capable of engaging with the rest of the global north. And although that, like, what's up? If you guys fund Israel, the conflict will keep going and going much harder than it would with Ukraine and Russia, because if Russia would attack Ukraine again, Russia would attack NATO. You're absolutely correct. The lack of Western support, the Western support faltering for Ukraine is such a mistake on the part of the West and on the part of America in particular. No way, what's up? Did it work? I blew it and it worked. Good old Nintendo know-how. You just gotta blow on the cartridge, but in this case, it's a disc. Yeah, so there you go. So then, now that it's working, you just launch Mario Kart Wii without like going to the homebrew channel or anything. Maybe do an offline race or two to make sure that it works. And then you can worry about like going online again. you know? Yeah. Ukraine would solve the problem mostly. Israel will stay the hot witch cauldron that it is. That's true. Israel, okay, and like the reason that Israel is such a witch cauldron. Dutch guy in your lobby, hot dog. We love some Dutch representation. The reason Israel's such a witch cauldron is that like the U.S. just kind of enables them to do whatever. I'm a race. Oh my god, nice. That's a great success, as we like to say. Yeah, the US just lets Israel get away with whatever. And so as a result, Israel has been a really big detriment to American interests in the Middle East. And it's not like I particularly like America as an entity that like exercises its influence on the geopolitical stage and whatever. But like the nominal reason for Israel still existing is to be a key like ally to Western democracies in the Middle East. But they haven't been doing that much for us. Israel's been weirdly hostile to any diplomatic engagements from the West, even before October 7th. And like all they've done in the region is prevent economic development by making it more and more unstable, by like just occasionally striking Syria or Jordan, like whatever neighboring country, and all that. When were plenty of opportunities in the past for us to decide, okay, so if we want a better ally in the Middle East than Turkey or Saudi Arabia, because these are also not particularly good allies, we could invest. We could invest in, Iraq. We could invest in Lebanon. We could invest in like, I don't know, one of the many states. We could focus more on pursuing ties with Egypt and trying to influence them more to a political model that is agreeable to Western countries and whatever. All of those would be good courses of action to make certain countries into, I believe, what 1v3 actually called top tier countries. Like this is the strategy that we should be pursuing. Is that like economic investment and close diplomatic ties rather than like military involvement. You beat your PB? Nice. That's always fun. But no, because of historical inertia and also a lot of other things, Israel is that like one country that the US sticks with. And because Israel is so hostile to all the other countries around it, the US has a hard time pursuing relations with any of those countries. And as a result, they've decided to be more aligned with either Iran or Russia. Or at the very least not aligned with the United States, which lands them more in the geopolitical court of like Iran or Russia. And then, like you were saying with Ukraine, Ukraine already has and wants to have close economic ties with like the EU and whatever. You're just gonna pick retro tracks, lol. Retro tracks can be cool. Good luck. Good luck with those, by the way. Um, so is like Ukraine doesn't at all represent the like the threat to stability in the region in Eastern Europe that Israel does for the Middle East. In fact, if I were to draw a more direct comparison between which country in Eastern Europe behaves the most like Israel does, it would be Russia. In fact, Israel and Russia are on pretty good terms because they have a lot in common ideologically. And Ukraine would have exactly the effect that we want to have on a region that's undergoing a lot of turmoil. They would be a new economic power. They would have a lot of like opportunities for good economic stuff to happen, and that would make the region a lot more stable, and that would like raise the standards, if that makes sense. Never mind. Whoa, what's up? Discrete error or whatever? Somehow got third. What are you doing? I am on custom tracks. Playing custom tracks online. If you want to join, now is not the right moment. We're still like, we need to pick the track, and then you went into a wall. Oh, that is a shortcut. I didn't do the shortcut right, but there's a spot on that wall where you can actually fly over it and skip a part of the track. I just didn't do it right. But you can do it with a star. I'm not as good at it on mirror mode as I am on regular, like 150cc. I love Yoshi. This track looks cool. Yoshi Falls or Yoshi Circuit? A retro? Yeah, this one is well, it's a new take on a retro course, but the layout is at least familiar. This is mirror mode, so I have to go over here. Yes. Okay. Nice try. Got that guy. This track is cool. I like the blue theming. The whole blue lava and stuff. Alright. I'm also very impressed with the fact that they managed to keep this track looking pretty flat, kind of like the original one. Okay. No, I'm driving so bad this last turn. Okay, I should be in the clear. Nice. Beat that guy. Oh, never mind. My chat room disconnected me or something? Just welcome back. Okay, never mind. We good, we good. Next race. I'll probably be able to do a couple more, and then that'll be the stream. I actually want to return, if I can, to Poland doing some more renewable energy stuff. It's in the early stages, but let's see if I saw this right. Let's see. Poland has opposed certain. I only played regular tracks online. Ah, okay, I gotcha. Poland has historically opposed certain environmental measures within the EU. In fact, they had a court battle with Belgium last year, so that's unfortunate. But the new Secretary of State said that Warsaw is ready to embrace a target for the EU to cut emissions by 90% before 2040, and will be pushing to ensure the impact on society was addressed. They are pursuing this new commitment, but they said that this is still in the early phases. They don't have a lot of details, which makes sense. Title, this country's such a joke. Wild Peach for Smash, welcome to the stream. A little, you know, a little bit close to the end, but we're glad to have you here nonetheless. Yeah, the United States is having a normal one, I believe is the term they use for this. Yeah. What in the world? That was the weirdest, Okay. Alright, now the question is, who else here knows how to drive on Mushroom Peaks? Apparently not me. I messed it up. Alright. There's still room for me to make it on 2 and 3. When are the Democratic primaries? In a couple of months, I think. This is terrible? Oh, no. Yeah, no, yeah, this track is terrible. And I honestly don't think it should be in the pack. Either that or it needs, like, a brand new overhaul. Like, not Kaizo version. Or it needs to be a secret track that people can't just pick. Burger. Yeah, okay, so the thing about the Democratic primaries is that the Democratic Party hasn't exactly been hasn't been great on this either. If they are happening in the states that where they are happening, they're in a couple of months. They'll be in like February and March. But for some states, the Democratic Party has just decided they're not going to have primary elections. They're just going to say like, nope, it's going to be Joe Biden. You don't get to pick somebody else. Oh no, what? I've never had a landing that bad before. Okay, there we go. Made it that time. I have an immature question. Sure, ask away. Skipping Palau politics is too much. Who cares about USA? Give Oceania some screen time. True. Honest. How do I change the party I'm registered to, or where to at least check? I actually don't know. I've never been registered with a political party in the United States. I've always just been registered as independent. And even then, I think it actually depends on your state. You could probably just look up how to change party registration and then the name of your state, and that would get you started. I'm not sure exactly how it would work beyond that, though. Also, I don't think that was a particularly immature question. I mean, it's a perfectly valid question. I don't know if there's a better spot to use this. Yeah, in America, you when you register to vote, it's not automatic like in other countries. You have to go to either the Department of Motor Vehicles or the voter registrar in order to register to vote. But when you register to vote, it's like, okay, what party are you a member of? Like, what party are you registering to vote with? And you can select the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, or independent, which means you don't have a party affiliation. Although in some states they might also let you register with like the Green Party or something like that. It doesn't, like, your voter registration doesn't matter that much. I almost got lapped. I am very sorry to hear that. But hey, look, That track is rough for everybody, and I also don't like it, and I even know how to drive it, so. Hopefully it doesn't get picked again. In fact, I'll try to pick something that isn't that hard. That track sucks. It objectively does. But this was one of the first custom tracks. It was made in like 2009. Somebody's like, what if I just made Mushroom Gorge, but like Kaizo version? At the time, it was a cool idea, but now it's, it's outstayed its welcome by several years. Terrible first custom track for me to play. Oh, yeah, for sure. That can leave a bad taste in people's mouth. And I have no doubt that it does leave a bad taste in people's mouth. That speaks, in fact, to one of the biggest gripes I have with the community and whatever, is that like, even though that track is historically important, it's not very good. Let's do what's a relatively easy track to drive on. I think I saw Spectral Station. That one's pretty easy. There we go. Imagine the other two viewers and makers of that track crying in their mother's basement. True. Actually, the people that made Mushroom Peaks are Mr. Bean 35,000 VR and Chatters, who are also the guys that make and maintain this custom track pack. Weemfi Wonderworld. Okay. Terra Urse. You ever done the 200cc route on Incendia? No, I have never really played 200cc in Mario Kart Wii. I think it's actually a little bit too fast for me to enjoy, really. Anyway, this is going to be the last race of the stream, because we're almost at 2 hours. I know that, there's some people that joined here, and I'm glad to have you all here, but, I don't have much more energy to do the stream. It broke again? I'm sorry to hear that, man. How is it possible that all the Mario Kart Wii lovers come at the last race of the stream? I don't know, man. I don't know. Nope. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, KV Bullet, just to like, that is super frustrating. But like, I've gotten disk read errors on my disc as well. Even when it's fixed, you'll still get that like on occasion. It's an annoying thing that can happen, but it happens less frequently with time. Just got out of class, lol, otherwise I would have watched. I'm sorry that I don't like, that the timing is really inconvenient. Sorry to hear that. Must be some conspiracy, I'm sure of it. Very true. Yeah. Although, of course, for everybody watching, I guess now is a good time to mention that, I do stream regularly. So if you want to catch the stream, you can bank on me streaming on a certain day. It's usually every other day for 2 hours, starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So since I was streaming today, I will also be streaming on Thursday. And then after that, I will be streaming on Saturday. Urko, of course. I mean, their name is Biden Kart. I don't want to make any assumptions, but it seems like that would be the go-to guess there. Oh, dude, that guy is so nice to me. He could have thrown that green shell backwards on those boost panels. You saw that, like, there was those green shells sitting there, and I would have not been able to avoid that that shell if he decided to throw it backwards at me, but he decided not to, so. And I got third, I think. Whoa! That was a good race, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off now. Thank you guys very much for watching the stream, even if you were only here for a part of it. It means a lot to me. I will now go look for somebody to raid. Everybody wish KV Bullet luck with their disc. I'm sure it will turn out okay, but you know, it's always frustrating when your disc breaks and you're trying to fix it and then it's still being annoying and all that. Burger-loving, patriotic, nationalistic cowboy Ohio-ness of America. That is so true. I've always said this. Who is streaming? Jerma. Well, Ethaby is streaming. Joey is streaming. What is he streaming? Lies of P? I actually don't know what that game is. So, I guess this time I will potentially not be raiding anybody. Usually I like to raid somebody. I'll double check. But not entirely sure. Have a good one. See you later. I'll go check on some possible stream content. Yeah, for sure. Who is live? Oh! PPMD is live. This guy talks a lot about Super Smash Bros. And I like him and I like the way he approaches the game. So let's go /raid. And then what's his Twitch name? Just PPMD, right? Let's do that. Alright. Yeah, he's gonna be just chilling. And then he's gonna play some Super Smash Bros. Net play. So I guess enjoy.